guys, Dolly here. Welcome back to Gypsy Rose Papery. Today I just wanted to do a quick little tutorial. I wanted to show you guys how to make a little fabric rose out of your scraps of fabric. If you wanted to see how I took some strips of fabric and made it into this beauty right here, then please keep on watching. So first, let's go over supplies. Some fabric, a scissor, of course, a hot glue gun, and any extra glue sticks just in case. So any oddly shaped piece of fabric, such as this one, which I kind of cut a cover out of. Don't ask me why I decided to cut a cover in the middle like this. I can't remember why, but this is what we're gonna do here. So this is a pretty long piece of fabric from like right there to right there, so that's a good length. So I'm just gonna cut as neatly as I can so I can have two neater-ish scraps. So now I have a little square and I can put this away, and then I'll cut on the other side. And so this is a good size. I'll measure it. I don't really measure things. If you haven't watched my channel and you're new, I don't measure. So if you're looking for measurements, I will try to put them on the screen for you so you have kind of like a starting point. So about 15 across. And you could do several flowers with these guys. So, and again, no perfection on my channel. You just kind of go with the flow. So I'm just going to cut about, I would say that's an inch. Let's see. Yeah, about 1.5 inches. So I'm going to continue to cut 1.5 inch strips and we'll be back. Okay. So these, I got 4 strips out of the piece of fabric, and as you can see, they're not perfect. A smart me would have had this glue gun heating up while I did that, but I didn't, so we're gonna do that. This is probably a disclaimer because I don't want to get sued from anybody who is trying to use a heat gun. Heat guns are dangerous, people. You can get pretty severe burns from a heat gun. So have a clear area when you're using a heat gun, because all it takes is for you to do that and you will have a severe burn. So keep that in mind. Okay, so this is my heat gun. It's on. I am facing that nozzle far away from this area because this is where I'm going to be moving my hands around. And so let's take one of the thicker ones and start off with that. You also want to test it before you go on and you start making stuff, because the last thing you need, and the most frustrating thing, is when you have your butt all nice and made and then your heat gun doesn't work and you're trying to get glue out and it won't work. So make sure your heat gun is nice and hot. And so I like to test it on just a scrap of paper. So it's working really good, and the way you know is when you press, if you can see, it comes out nice and fluid. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to fold your strip in half. It doesn't have to be folded all the way through. You just want to make sure your pattern is on the outside. And you're going to fold this side first like this. And then, and again, it doesn't matter how far out you fold it. I would say 1 inch. And while you're holding this, you're going to want to start just turning it in, and I hope you can see. You just want to keep turning it in, parallel to each other, okay? And all the way through this fold until you get to the end of the fold. So right about there. And so you have your bud. And if you're not happy with how tight it is, you can go ahead and restart the process. So again, let me show you again. You fold it with the fabric the right side towards you, You're going to fold about an inch in. You're going to make a fold there towards you. And then you start from the beginning of the strip and you just start turning, turning. Okay. Just keep turning it. And then you're going to get to the fold here. And you're going to want to continue to turn. Now, since you have your bud, you want to hold it, but then you want to turn this in until you get to the end of that fold. So there you have your little bud. So this is a good place to put some hot glue. And again, you want to be super careful because this will be hot. So just do a little bit and make sure you see what you're doing. Not like me looking at the camera what I'm doing, but just a little bit. Okay. And then you're going to want to go ahead and press that down. And again, be careful because the glue is hot. So you don't want to press, you want to just slightly press right there. Okay. And so once that's not as hot, you can kind of press a little bit harder just to make sure. And so you have your little bud. And so this was the fold we had was previously the other way. But once you glue it, you see how the natural piece of the fabric, it has the good side to you or the right side towards you and the back side out that way. You wanna go with that. So here again, you're trying to make sure that your fabric is folded somewhat in half. Okay, but now what you want to do is you want to fold this inward and turn. Okay, and you want to go all the way through. All right, and once you get to the end of that fold there, that fold, that's where you're going to want to put, again, glue. But this time, because the fabric is thin, be careful. You're going to want to put glue on the bud itself. Okay, and you have that glue on there, and now you want to just kind of making sure it's folded in half still, adhere it to there. And again, you want to go in, and then you want to fold in again, and turn. And here, once it starts getting bigger, you can go all the way to the end of that fold, and you can do 2 folds now if you wanted to. Before you put some glue. So we're gonna just use some glue there. And you just want to be careful with how you press, because it's still hot. And so every time you glue, you want to kind of regather your fabric. Make sure it's folded in half. And again, start turning. Once you get to the end of that fold, you fold inwards again. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of showing you. It's hard to see because now the fold is in the back, but once you get to the end of that fold, you fold inwards again. And you're gonna have that fold again there. Okay. And you get to the end of that fold, you fold inwards again. I'm not focusing, I'm sorry. And now we can glue, because we did 2 folds. You want to glue the bud itself. And again, just push it against without touching the actual glue and hold it. And once you see it stuck, you can kind of slowly pinch it just to make sure that it's not too warm and that you're securing it. So one thing that will happen, which I just did now just by second nature, is sometimes the bud pushes out like this. You can just gently push it back in and you still have your bud. So again, we're pushing in, we're continuing to make sure our little strip is folded. We fold in again. On this one, I'm gonna do 3 folds. So we'll do one there, and we'll do another one there, and then I will put some hot glue there. And once I think it's cooled off some, you can press. And again, fold in, and you are almost done here. And it's already looking really cute. I love how easy this is. And I know when you first do it, it's a little... So I went to the end of the fold, and I folded in. And so I know it can be a little bit frustrating at first, but I think the results are worth it. So right here, we're almost at the end. I'm going to leave about 1 inch out, and I'm gonna hot glue there. So hot glue right there, and just gonna secure this piece. And once it's secured, if you have a little bit of excess like that, you can just quickly wipe it away. And once it's cooled, it turns hard pretty quickly. So that's our little flower. So now what we want to do with this is we're going to want to tuck it underneath. So you're going to want to put your hot glue on the back of the bud, a fairly decent amount. I would say about that much, which is about the size of a head of a nail. And you're gently going to push this over. And again, being careful with the glue because it's still rather hot. And then once you feel it's not that hot, you can kind of push and make a flat back. And a good way to do this too is to take out your scrap, and you can kind of now push the bud into the paper. And since it's not paper, the rose itself, it retains its shape. And it's just so cute. It is the cutest little thing. And you can further glue this down here if you wanted to clean it up, or you could back it with felt, but you can glue this onto a cover. And these are the ones that I used on the So Shabby journal. So that's her little flower. So again, I wanted this to be a quick little video. I hope I made sense. If you have any questions, you can message me. And it was great having you guys join me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.